I feel like Seamus Gorman right now. So today I'm doing a Pixar theory that I came up with just because, I don't know, actually I know exactly why. It's because Incredibles 2 is coming out so soon. Well, actually not soon, it's still not for like 5 months, but still, oh my gosh, waiting for this for so long. We all know that. So, I was actually inspired to create this video by both Seamus Gorman with his video of like who could be the new supervillain of the Incredibles 2, with Pixar when they released the tweets of the actors next to the drawn characters. And also I was inspired by Film Theory by MatPat, which the video only released for me like an hour ago, in which he was talking about which of the Parr family, only including Bob, Helen, Violet, and Dash, was the most powerful. Now, in that, he finally concluded, as I know, and as I am so happy for, that Violet was the strongest. Give or take dire needs and dire situations in which paternalistic instincts take over, and then Mr. Incredible is technically the strongest. And I was extremely happy about that because Violet has always been my favorite character. Because I was about 4 or 5, when the Incredibles movie first came out. It was the first movie that I actually have memories about, that I actually remember. This was like a foundational movie for me. And I think it was because of that that kind of brought out my love of the superhero world in general. But Violet has always been my favorite, like I said, and I've kind of wondered why, like what made her so special. And apparently it wasn't just me. A survey done by FanPop concluded that 34% of people believe that Violet is their favorite. And it made me wonder, okay, so obviously I'm not alone in my love of Violet, but what makes her such a lovable character? Actually, when you boil down to it, the answer is rather simple. Let's look at the facts. Pixar created this movie probably with the aim of slightly older children, just because in it there are concepts of cheating, a villain that actually kills people, and, as MatPat wonderfully pointed out, multiple deaths by jet turbines. Actually, multiple deaths involving jets in general. Like, I know Elastigirl, Violet, and Dash didn't die, but that was a pretty close call. But because of that, we can assume that Pixar, when they created the movie, they were aiming for, I would guess, between like 9 to like 14, 15-year-olds was probably around where their, demographic was for who would love this movie the most. Now, I'm sure they didn't know that this would become a universal sensation and be by far one of the best movies in creation. Mr. Incredible is at the very bottom. And that, my guess, is probably because look at Mr. Incredible's character. He's been stuck in a dead-end job for about 15 years. He's trying to provide for a family. Yes, he is incredibly strong, that's amazing. But he also kind of, not actually, but kind of cheats on his wife. I don't technically classify it as an affair, but even like the hint of an affair. What person of that age, what kid can relate to that? It's just not us. Sneaks around, ignores his family, and think about it. Logically, what 9 to like 15, 16-year-old can relate to that? What 9 to 15, 16-year-old has been working a dead-end job for years, must provide for their family, dreams of the glory days back in the old times? Oh my gosh, I can say us. It's just not something that we would relate to, which is why he is a less loved character. Although still very loved, don't get me wrong, Mission Incredible is amazing. Next we have Helen Parr, or Elastigirl. Yeah, her flexibility is amazing, the tricks that she does with it, but also, again, look at her character. She is a mother trying to cope with raising children, moving constantly, troubles with school, issues within the family, trying to keep her husband in check. Again, what teen, young adult, young kid can relate to that. It's just not something that we can really comprehend. We've never had to run a family. Most of us do not have to deal with the brunt stress of moving. I mean, yes, moving causes us stress, but obviously more stress on the parents. We've never had to deal with a child that's been misbehaving at school. We've never had to hide the secret that we are supers, or possibly, as theories have suggested, one most notably by Seamus Gorman, that they would have to hide the fact that they've even had children, period. But yeah, that's just not something that we as kids can relate to, which is why, again, she is a lower loved character, or a lesser loved character. Then we have Dash. Okay, Dash, he's funny, he's exciting, he runs around. A lot more people can relate to that just because he is like a child. And although this is aimed for young adult children, we can imagine him higher on the list because aw, I remember when I was like that. I was a lot like that back when I was a kid. And that's usually the mentality. Back when I was his age, I used to run around like that too. And so there's a little bit of relatability. Maybe we've had problems in school. Maybe we like pulling pranks. Maybe we're just wild and energetic. Maybe we were the annoying little brother. But that's something that a lot more people can relate to, which is why he is a lot more of a loved character. Because that's something that's very common. Most people can relate to, yeah, when I was a kid, I was like Dash. Not everyone, granted, but a lot of people can relate to him in certain ways. Even if it's as much as just being an annoying little brother. And then we have Jack. Throughout most of it, he's just cute and bubbly and funny. And it's just oh my gosh. I know not all teens are like this, but he's cute. He's funny. There's no reason to hate him. But then, at the end, when he turns into a monster, that's okay, that went from he's just cute to, whoa, he is actually extremely powerful. That's cool. Also, you can technically thank Jack for destroying Syndrome. And yes, by destroying, I mean technically killing, but yeah, a baby stopped the main villain of the plot. That is pretty cool for anyone. And the exciting change, the transformation sequences, that is beautiful. That's pretty amazing, which is why I think he's so relatable and why people love him so much. Also because he's mysterious. His powers are never confirmed. None of the rest of the family actually knows that he has powers, as we confirmed by the teaser for Incredibles 2. They obviously didn't know he had powers before. That's exciting. They even state multiple times, Violet states. The only normal one here is Jack, and he's not even toilet trained. And yeah, that's another reason, mysterious. Just because we don't know about him naturally makes him more exciting. But then, here's the final thing. The reason why Violet, I think, is the most loved and the favorite is because she is very relatable. A lot of the people back then, and especially now as they're growing up, they can relate to being the teen who maybe wasn't popular in school, the teen who had a crush that didn't notice them, the teen who had annoying little siblings, the teen who struggled to fit in with her family, the teen, or his family, the teen who just wanted to be invisible, the teen who wanted to hide out in their room, the teen who wanted to shield themselves from the world. That's something that a lot more people, I would argue that any person who has been a teen can relate to that. Especially if you're a teen watching that for the first time, you think, oh my gosh, she's a lot like me. And that's why I think that she's the most relatable, because her character qualities are ones that apply to a larger spectrum of people. More people can identify with, yes, I was like that, or yes, I am like that. That's my theory on why Violet is the most popular person in The Incredibles. If you like that theory, don't forget to leave it a like. Comment down below, who's your favorite? What are your opinions on why they're your favorite? If it is Violet and you feel that what other reasons could she be considered the best? Don't forget to share this with all your friends who think that is amazing, because, this really was pretty amazing. I'm actually pretty proud of this. I really enjoyed making this and doing the little bit kind of research that I did do for it. All my social media is right here, as always. Don't forget, just follow me everywhere. I'm a pretty cool all-around person, not just on YouTube. Follow me everywhere. Yeah. So I think that's all I need, guys. Let's have some fun and smile, because anything could happen. The Incredibles 2.